I'm enjoying it all. It's just funny stuff going on. Yeah, like recently it was like that Brock Lesnar and Matt Riddle. They have a confrontation in the locker room, and from that, from what I'm hearing, WWE has there's like some heat on him for that in the locker room and stuff. And Riddle's like on social media, like, I'm going to get this match. I'm going to do this and that against Brock. And it's like he is whining at this point. And WWE, yeah, and WWE at the point now they're telling people in the performance center, do not try to make matches for yourself. Do not call out the main roster wrestlers because that's gonna make you look bad and put heat on you. Because Riddle can't keep his mouth shut. Riddle cannot keep his mouth shut. Yeah. If anything, I think it's a liability, especially for Pete Dunne's career. Because anything happen to Riddle, it's gonna come undone, and he's gonna lose probably his job because of Riddle's actions. Yeah, but right now they have him on the he's on the NXT roster right now, the main roster on NXT, not the UK. But yeah, if Riddle does something bad, I'm pretty sure he might go back to the UK market, which I'm fine with. It's just he Riddle's just a lightning rod right now, and I'm happy MLW let him go, or he left MLW, because they don't have to deal with his drama anymore. Yeah, that's like a number of wrestlers. Like stories about low key being a bad wrestler, which he's not. He's just serious about the craft, and other guys are just lazy or whatnot. So I didn't see the Royal Rumble Sunday. I saw it the day after, and I had to tell you, I cringed through the first 30 minutes, whatever, because Brock was in the Royal Rumble. It's like, oh my god. Yeah, man, I love the fact that he's down, but at the same time, you're trying to make stars. Just throwing them out like that in seconds, that's not helping. Except for Elias, like the low, I'm saying the mid card guys, I'm fine with that. But if they higher up, don't do that to them. That's gonna hurt them in the long run. Yeah, yeah, I know. Yeah, 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 yeah. But I feel bad for Rowan because he's supposed to be pushed as a destructive force, but he's just getting thrown out the ring like he's a toy. It's like I feel bad for his push because of all that build up, and now he got stuff from the beginning again. Yeah, yeah, yeah. And it's like this guy is a big guy. He's fast like Luke Harper, and you doing nothing with him. I mean, if they had like the 6-man championship or whatever in WWE, I could see Braun Strowman, Luke Harper, and Eric Rowan holding, but Harper's gone, and the other two are just there at this point. And then it's like, I think the point where I really got aggravated about the men's Royal Rumble is when Shelton Benjamin came out and Brock betrayed them. I'm like, come on, man, he's your boy right there. You could at least let him like do most of the work, and you sit in the corner and relax or something. But what I understood, it was like, oh shit, that was fucked up. And I'm gonna be honest, I didn't see the rest of the men's Royal Rumble when they said the women's Royal Rumble earlier. So like, what? It was earlier? So I stopped watching the men's. I went through the links to find the women's, and I was pretty entertained by the women's for the most part. Yeah. Yeah. Uh, yeah. It's like, why have her win? There's nothing interesting about her. Yeah, she's going that. Yeah, she's going to Rhea Ripley's championship. Yeah, that's the plan for WrestleMania. Yeah, it, yeah. It's just yeah. Wait, yeah, you noticed something about these past few winners, right? First one was Becky. The next one was Asuka. Now Charlotte. Oh man, that was sneaky of them to actually do that though. Yeah, and then like they're on SmackDown. The three of them are trying to get the SmackDown title. Then they go to Raw and do the same thing. It's like, just leave Asuka on SmackDown. Don't move her around, please. I mean, she's better with Kairi Sane on SmackDown. Just let them wrestle there, because anytime she's around Becky or Charlotte, she sometimes don't get most of the wins. And it's like just annoying. I think my favorite part actually the women's was I'm saying when Mercedes Martinez came to me. That was my favorite part actually. Mercedes, yeah, she's one of my favorite ladies. One of my favorites. Exactly. And it's like about time she got there. I mean, I'd rather see her in AEW where she has a better chance, but WWE would be alright. Hopefully. And it's just like, I got tired after a while when I saw Charlotte start eliminating people. Like, I'm done. I mean, I love seeing Beth Phoenix. For me, it's like, damn, Beth head is beaten. It actually looks cool, but they didn't want her to bleed, so it's like, whatever. And I just stopped watching after a while. Well, yeah, it's Charlotte, and it's gonna be Drew McIntyre going for the titles. Shit, I don't know who's gonna win it. I think Drew is probably gonna win the title. I'm not positive, and I think Rhea, she's gonna retain her title, probably, because yeah, and I heard that Brock isn't going to defend the title at WrestleMania 36. That's what I heard, but it's kind of stupid to do that. Speaking of titles, man, Becky, she's started up a shitstorm these past 2 weeks. She said during the interview that she wanted the women's moniker out of the championship. So it's no longer the NXT Women's Championship, it's the NXT Championship. And people are like, why do that? Because you're going to confuse the viewers. So it don't make no sense. And WWE, for some reason, they they changed the NXT UK Women's Championship to the NXT UK Championship. So it's like now you're confusing your fans. And that's just weird to me. It's like, don't do that. I understand you want women to have more rights and everything. That's cool now, but there's plenty of women who do that on the indie scenes. You don't need to change it in WWE. Only confuse your fans. It's like, okay, if that's that champion, that's that champion. How about have them both face each other and have one title? You see what I'm saying? It open up a can of worms, and you don't want that happening. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Yeah. That's fine with me, yeah. Yeah. Nah, man, you fine. It's whatever. If you want to do a topic first, we can do it. I don't really mind. Just free flowing, just go with it. Oh yeah. Oh, WWE. From what I read from Wrestle Inc. or whatever it was, they lost $10 off their stock because they had two long-term co-presidents leave the company recently. They were fired. Dang, I thought, why were they fired? That is stupid. Yeah. 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 I thought that was Triple H's position. Oh, okay. CFO. Oh, okay. Oh, okay. Yeah. Directly. Yeah. Yeah, because usually when you see stuff like this, it's like the company is about to go bankrupt or something. But in this case, it's not. Yeah, exactly. Oh my. Yeah, I don't blame him. At that price, I could at least buy what, 1 or 2 shares or something. Oh, that's crazy. And I think that the new guy, he was supposed to take the spot. He's like been with the company for like 11 years or so. So it's like he's used to it. So it's like I'm just gonna take this position. I hope he doesn't get fired like they did Eric Bischoff or something like that. But you never know with this company. Yeah. I mean, if I was them, I'll search first before I fire these 2 people because he's doing the job of 2 people. And you need somebody with great skills to fill those shoes. Yeah, and it's just crazy. It's just like I've been reading stuff now that they don't care if you smoke pot in the back or anything like that, which kind of funny because they're based in Stanford. Yeah, and Connecticut doesn't have the weed law yet, but it's whatever it is. And they have Lars Sullivan, who's 2 years out from being called up. He's still not wrestling. Yeah, and it's like, yeah, and it's like, how can you get this? You you punish anybody for things they did when this guy is still on the roster. He was making racist comments before and after they signed him. He was talking about how he wanted to do something with Stephanie. Then he came out with a sex tape. It's like those 3 things would kill anybody else in the company. This guy is untouchable. Yeah. And it's like, how do you get fired now? You set the bar so low. It's like they got fired because poormanship in the ring. It's like, well, you still got Lars Sullivan and all this stuff he's done. So it's like, how can you do that to one person and he's still on the roster? It's like, oh my goodness. Yeah. 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 And it's like, yeah. And it's like, it's some kind of double standard in wrestling that guys get away with this stuff, yet the women, they get punished harder. Like, Havoc, she was released from Impact in 2012 because she made a joke about she like chicken like black people. She got fired, and I'm like, I'm a black guy. How is that even offensive? And it's like, I'm watching her on Twitch. She's one of the most nicest persons out there. How are you gonna fire her over a stupid joke? Whereas you see guys doing all these other things and they still got a job. Like, yeah, like for years I was like, Impact, you need to bring back Havoc. Her joke was not even that offensive, not even that destructive compared to most of the guys in the back you have. You have Austin Aries with his attitude sometimes. You got other guys you keep bringing that have attitudes and stuff, but yet you fire her over one thing. That's kind of hypocritical. And the same thing goes with the WWE too. It's like Seth Rollins. He got caught with that one chick who's dating Sonya Deville now. She was wearing Nazi paraphernalia, and he was engaged to his fiance. So it's like he should have been suspended or something. Only thing that happened is that chick, she got released from NXT and she's now dating Sonya Deville. But yeah, it's like, how does she keep her job? How does Sonya keep her job when she's related to that person now? Yeah. Yeah. Some kind of punishment. Yeah. I mean, they're on display every week, every single week. That's one reason why I think Impact got rid of Eli Drake, because he didn't want to do an intergender match with Tessa or any other knockouts. Like, okay, he's really not that good anyway. Just get rid of him. Because the rest of the guys, they have no problems wrestling against women. It's just issues like that. And it's like, WWE of all companies, they should not even be trying to do these double standards due to all the stuff they've been doing, like the Saudi Arabia shows, which they recently just had 2 women wrestlers in Saudi Arabia. Finally, then they had that whole Saudi Arabia issue where, oh, these guys are not being held hostage, but at the same time, Vince left early with everybody else. So it's like, what the hell is going on? And you got people saying, oh, we're not going to Saudi Arabia anymore because of that issue. Yeah. 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 It's hypocritical. Yeah. Yeah, it is. Yeah, and it's like they're saying, "Oh, Saudi, this is the first time we're investing in Saudi Arabia." Whereas my friend, I can't remember her name. First half, Sapphire, she wrestled another woman who both are from the UK. They both wrestled each other in Israel for the first time. That's the first time women ever wrestled there, and it's like, yeah, and it's like just crazy. Then like WWE's like, oh, we're gonna give the Lashley Rusev angle. We're gonna give a lesbian angle with Liv Morgan and Lana. Where Sonya Deville, she's the first openly gay female wrestler on the WWE's roster. That was her pitch to do with Mandy Rose. So she's mad because they stole her idea and used it for somebody else who both aren't gay or bisexual or whatever. So it's like, what are you doing, WWE? You're doing stuff that looks stupid. And I can think, yeah, exactly. And then they did one spot on SmackDown to the match where Sonya was running her hands through Mandy's hair, and then after that, nothing. It's just like, what are you doing? It's so hypocritical because one of my favorite wrestlers, Chris Kanyon, and there's so many stories about them bullying him because he was gay. So many. What was it? The ECW Nova, he came out and he was like, oh, they used to bully Chris Kanyon all the time. When they had Undertaker Appreciation Night and Chris Kanyon was in one of the crates, they was doing that to mock Chris Kanyon, not help the Undertaker. Yeah, because they had that whatever when Undertaker was the American Badass, he was doing the Appreciation Night and they was opening crates and he was in and Kanyon was in one of the crates singing "Don't You Want to Touch Me Like Boy George." So that was openly mocking Chris Kanyon for that. And it's like, what are you doing? You are the most hypocritical company I have ever seen. Then they have the nerve like to block out Impact. Why? Impact has done nothing to you. They've just been doing their own thing for years now. It's just stupid. It's like when Impact brought in the Knockouts tag team titles, WWE months later, oh, we're gonna break the women's title into two and give it to Lay Cool and say they're co-champions, which is a sort of jab at the Impact women's tag team titles. So it's like, stop being stupid and petty. Just produce good wrestling. Yeah, and it's like going to this next topic. It's like they're trying to get into Japan, and I'm sorry, Japan and Mexico are the two hardest wrestling and two hardest markets to get into because Japan got so many women companies, and Mexico just playing strong because it got two strong promotions there. So like, literally, just stop what you're doing and keep your two NXT promotions where they are because you're not gonna go further than that. Yeah, stardom. Yep. Yeah. And Noah recently said they're declining that offer. Yeah. Yeah. And that's good for Noah. That's very, yeah, because he was in the darkest times after, um, not Taichi, Bone Soldier, Ishimori, when he left and when Kenta left, they was on hard times because they're like, I'm gonna say third fiddle after New Japan and All Japan because the Asian roster and all the other stuff going on. Now they're getting a renaissance because they've been owned by DDT now. So I'm happy for them because I thought they was gonna get sold to WWE, and then they would be killed instantly like that. Yeah, 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 yep, yep. That's like I think Bushiroad should buy Sendai and just merge it into Stardom. Like get all the women's promotions that are struggling, gradually put them in Stardom and just like grow the roster gradually. Don't go crazy like WWE and just buy everybody. Just buy certain promotions that you think would be profitable and just merge into Stardom and just have a bigger roster right there. So it can be like New Japan. Everybody has a faction in Stardom, and everything's running just like New Japan, except it's just for women. And it's like I think all these companies are doing this right now is because they know the WWE is trying into Japan, and they're trying to make sure they keep their culture alive and keep all the promotions in there alive and away from WWE. Because as you've seen in the UK, they're gonna come in, then they're gonna preach the WWE style of wrestling, even though that style is more dangerous than the Asian style of wrestling, which is kind of ironic when you look at it. Like not Ishimori, Hiromu, he had a broken neck. That's the first injury I have seen him have in New Japan, and he managed to wrestle the rest of the match, but went on to the ER after that. It's like with WWE though, you have I saw earlier, it's like 10 wrestlers inactive due to injury. It's just crazy. Yeah, yeah, it's just not clicking. It's it's like I understand these guys and girls want to make enough money for themselves by going to WWE. It's like, but at the same time, look at the laundry list of wrestlers that work for WWE, and look at how many died in the past like decade or so, or the last 20 years. Yeah, and it's like all the crazy stuff you see in other promotions, except for the hardcore ones, whatever, they have long lives and they don't hurt themselves as much. But in WWE, it's like they're doing all these events in 1 week, and it's like you guys need to scale down some of your events or whatever and allow your wrestlers to rest. Yeah. Yep. Yep. I saw on her Instagram when she posted on her story. Yep.
I mean, I was shocked. Like, no, say you don't do this because you still got your fitness, your training gym. You can't leave that behind, and you got your family there. But it's just like I want to move there for new adventures and stuff. Like, at least branch out and start like a gym in the United States somewhere, preferably L.A., Chicago, and Miami. Those three locations. But it's just like she's closing up her gym, and she's just moving to the United States. Like, shit, this is not going to go well. Yeah, yeah, but yeah, me too. And yeah, because I remember I was watching. I think it was early last year. I was watching Stardom's on Instagram. It's like, who in the hell is this blonde chick doing these flips? It's like, oh shit, I've been hooked ever since. So it's like every time she posts something, it's like I say, hey, you look nice and everything, but then again, I'm like Reggie because of her dog and how entertaining it is. It's like, damn, she's moved to the United States, and it's like she posted a few pictures when she had a recent match in AEW. She had so much makeup on. It's like, what the hell happened here? And it's like, yeah, I'm just hoping that her and Bree do not have a match in AEW because I don't want no politicking going on between the two because Sadie's pretty much like a nice spirit person. Whereas Bree, I think she got some kind of ego going on, and I'm not really for that at this point. And it's like Sadie, she is the perfect woman to build a roster behind because one, she's always staying in shape, and you don't see her going out drinking or getting in trouble. And two, she's dedicated to her craft, showing how much, going by how much like championships she's won in bodybuilding and getting a chance to wrestle in the ring. You have a potential Hall of Famer right there. It's just they're not booking her as much as they should. And like now, yeah, go ahead. Yeah, it's like now they just starting to do promos or whatever about Sadie, and it's like y'all should have done that before you signed the woman or put on TV. Allow that to build her up, but it's AEW, and the only thing they're gonna do is push match after match after match, and sooner that's gonna get very tiring at a point. Yeah, exactly. Same here. I'm gonna give it a high D plus because they're not doing anything to diversify the women and how each one is special. It's like you just push them out there and wrestle. You need to put vignettes. You need to do promos. I mean, the elite, they have the elite channel. How about for AEW you show promos or show the biography or something in the background of the women's. So when they come out, people can see that small package, and when the women come out, you can root for the one that you really like for a reason, not just, oh, she looks cute. Um, yeah, exactly. Yeah. Yeah, and it's like they got the what was it? Kevin Sutherland, not the wrestler, but the producer. They took him from Impact, and he was doing great things with Impact women and their the skits and stuff. I mean, you have the guy and the resources. At least try to use them to build up the women and stuff. Yeah, we know some of the ladies, but at the same time, you need to remember this is 2020. Wrestling is not as big as it used to be in the 90s. You have to show people who these people are and help them grow because for all the weeks these women being on the roster, they could be at least wrestling like 5, maybe 6 promotions in a week. Now it's just cut down to 1 or 2 matches a week. It's like, what the hell? That's their money plus opportunities to win titles and stuff. Yeah, from what I heard, they restrict it only in the United States and North America, so they can't wrestle nowhere else in the United States or Canada. But I'm pretty sure Mexico, the UK, Europe, and Asia, those countries are fair game. Just United States, they cannot wrestle, which is the big market actually. And it's like I'm every time I see them going to get somebody, I'm thinking this is WCW and WWF all over again. They're just going out buying people, not giving them a chance on TV, even though they got plenty of time to do it, and people just sit in the back. So it's like these fans who came from WWF, WWE going to AEW, they're like, oh, so many guys are just sitting at the catering table now. It's just sitting there because they have nothing to do. Uh-uh. Oh shit. I, man, I am I can't I'm not gonna lie to you. I was so happy because I went through all of Marty Scurll's Instagram stuff leading up to when he was signed. I saw so many people begging him go to AEW, go to WWE. Then as soon as he resigned, you don't see nobody posting that stuff. Yeah, yeah. It's like I I can see when I'm looking at. I'm pretty much like I'm 30 years old. I've been watching since '98. I can see who's a real fan and who's just a fan because he joined the elite. It's like I can see who you are, dude. You don't have to try to lie to me and say, "Oh, I've been here since blah blah blah." It's like, no, you haven't. I've been a fan of his since he joined Ring of Honor the first time, and held the Ring of Honor title. I think after Will Ospreay debut. So it's like I've been around for that long before he joined the Elite, before he went to New Japan. So it's like I've seen this guy's career when he's wrestling throughout Europe to wrestle United States. Now he's with Ring of Honor, and everybody want him to go to All Elite just because his friends are there. I mean, it's just stupid. It's like, why are you not happy for this guy being in Ring of Honor? Yeah, exactly. Yeah, yeah. And the thing is, he sees the picture that if he went to AEW, he won't be working there, and he won't have a chance to hold a title for X amount of days, and he have to play. Yeah, exactly. And then he was like, "So I'm happy Ring of Honor brought him back." And let's see, Ring of Honor they re-signed Marty, they re-signed the Briscoes who going back for the titles, and they re-signed PJ Black and they re-signed Bandino. So they're making good moves right now and just focusing on themselves. Yeah. Yep. Oh, speaking of that, recently there was some articles out that somebody in Ring of Honor was asking female training attendees some inappropriate questions. So it's like, who's asking these questions and why? Because I know it's not Marty. It is somebody else in the management that's doing this stuff. Yeah. Exactly. Perf- yeah. It's like, why are you asking these questions? It's like a red flag right there. It's like you're on a ship and you see a big red flag taking up a horizon. Why is that flag there? I might change course and go somewhere else because they don't need this bad press. Joey Mercury already gave them enough bad publicity right there with those emails. Then they fired Kelly Kelly. Then she ultimately getting a divorce from her husband, and it's like, Ring of Honor, you need to lay low, overhaul your management, and fix things because you're only making stuff worse for yourself. That wasn't impossible. Yeah. They don't. Yeah, and it's like it's a catch 22. You have Sinclair as your owner, but they're not putting more resources into you guys. You guys got bad publicity right now, and then the Young Bucks leaving and stuff mixed with New Japan is pretty much on them saying, "Hey, we're going to have our guys with you guys, but let our guys win most of the matches." So it's like they can't win for lose in these situations that they have, and one of them is their own fault. And it's like, Ring of Honor, you guys need to do something because I'm not sure how much debt you guys are in or how much you can afford to sign people, but you guys need to lay low, need a PR firm or something to help you guys because you're damaging your own selves, and sooner or later, Sinclair might have to just leave you guys, just dump you somewhere because at this point, it's lost cause. Yeah, and it's like if they wanted to compete with the WWE, you know what? Make men's with Impact. That right there would have helped them right there. It's like they're not gonna do that though because they're stubborn. Um, I heard Marty's trying to make a partnership between All Elite and ROH, but I don't think that's gonna be possible at this point. Impact, just Impact. Yeah, 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 yeah. Exactly. Yeah. It's like every two, maybe 3 years, so like, oh, Impact gotta get a new TV deal. Oh, Impact is this. Like, come on, guys, just stick somewhere. Then it's like, it's just crazy. Oh yeah, speaking of Impact, man, oh my goodness. Tessa. Man, oh my goodness. Now, aside from being the first woman to win a men's championship, which I can think of LaFisto, Kimberly, and a few others, this woman, she pretty much doubled down, made herself look like an idiot. She gave this big speech after she won a title. She did all these things. Yet, Allison Kay, who she's a great heel on TV, but she's like, everywhere she works, she always had professionalism for her because nobody can say anything bad about her. So Tessa decides I'm gonna go dig up some dirt on Allison K, and she can't find any dirt. It's yeah, redemption. Yeah, yeah. 11, 11 actually, 11 women. Yeah, man, I cannot count how many wrestling companies, how many wrestling journalists unfollow me on Twitter because I was pointing out the obvious that if there's 11 people going against you and all the stories sound the same, there's smoke to that fire somewhere. And then Alison K posted all the text messages saying that Tess is trying to dig up dirt on her. She's pretty much trying to cover her ass, but she's not realizing that people are going to post this stuff. Yeah, yeah. Don't worry about that, man. I don't care. Yep, yep. Exactly. Exactly. And it's like I saw so many people coming after me because I'm defending those 11 ladies, and these Tessa fans are like getting really mad at me and other people because we're telling them that Tessa might be something that these friends don't want to accept. It's like if you got nothing to hide, why are you trying to dig up dirt on somebody? And then yeah, yeah. And it's like, yeah, it's to me, it's like you spit on somebody and then you call them the N word, then you later on meet up and talk to them and try to smooth it over. Then you go around and try to dig up dirt. So it's like Tessa, you digging your own grave, even though you just made history and impact. So you're pretty much in your own grave right now after you just put 10 layers of dirt on the ground in the ground. So it's like just fess up. Just say you made a mistake and you're gonna defend the title against all these women or whatever to redeem yourself. I mean, Jeff Hardy, he had the incident when he was high at Victory Road. He redeemed himself in front of Impact fans. Tessa, you need to stop thinking she's so high of herself when she's pretty much not. Yeah, yeah, Yep. Yeah, and that's why you don't see her in Japan doing tours, and that's why you definitely don't see her in AAA doing matches because those women in AAA they don't take no shit from nobody. Yeah, and I see those. I watch. I'm not gonna lie to you. I watch AAA more than I watch Impact and all these other promotions because I follow these women on Instagram and all of this, and I see their matches. Those kicks are no joke. I mean, yeah, and I'm like, I mean, they must take some pain relievers or something to get those kicks. Cause I couldn't do that. Cause you can tell in the United States when somebody's going for a kick, you can see somebody put their hand up, and you see that. When in AAA, you don't see that. You see that foot hitting you, you see the knee hit you, and like in Tessa, I think she knows not to go to AAA because she knows if she trained that stuff with the women, those women would tear her up. Like yeah, like Lady Shiny. She used to do hardcore matches too. She used to wrestle her cousin, the Dark. I mean, if anything, she can just contact the Dark to knock out Tessa, and it's a wrap right there. Cause the Dark man, her matches are mostly bloody, and she's one of the nicest women I even talked to online. So it's like, you anger the people of Mexico, you're done. Like, period. You can't. You can try to go to CMLL, they won't want you there because Xerxes there, and she's a badass too. So it's like you got no chance. Just stay out of Mexico, redeem yourself, and see what happens in the future. Yep. Yeah. I think from what I heard, I think D'Lo's still with the company. I think they was trying to bring it back for one night or something for to relive Impact history. Uh, yeah. I mean, it was big because of Eric Bischoff. He was behind it, but they also had Bruce Pitchers, and he was the one signing the contracts, the checks, and stuff like that. From many, I think, from many interviews I heard, especially RVD, Bruce Pitchers would not resign people from their contracts during that Hogan, Bischoff, and Flair era. They didn't resign people, so people lapsed and left. RVD, he wanted to stay with the company, but Pritchard did not re-sign him. Uh, Tara Victoria, she left because she couldn't get along with Dixie Carter, which I understand that. Um, and the X's and Eight, they pretty much disbanded because Doc or Luke Gallows, he was supposed to be the one to break up the group because he's supposed to be the star the Impact wanted. But Pritchard didn't resign him, and he went to Japan. They used Bully Ray to break up the whole group, so that's how the whole mess started. Oh yeah, Conan was talking to the original Psychosis from AAA. What was it? WCW about hey, just reuse your name again. Blah blah blah. Which the second Psychosis was like, hey man, you mess with my money. Let's have this conversation. But nothing happened. So Conan was at the tapings in Mexico for Impact, and the second Psychosis slapped him because he was trying to have a conversation with Conan. Conan was pretty much trying to punk him and say, "Hey, I'm not gonna do this for you," blah blah blah. And I think later on they got it resolved or something like that. But that's how that whole incident started. Yeah, yeah. I don't know, man. I think he just don't like Joey Ryan's gimmick or something. It's like, RVD, you shouldn't be talking. I know you're a legend, all, but you shouldn't be talking. You got the company banned from Twitch for like a week or so. You shouldn't be talking. And your woman, I'm sorry, Katie Forbes, you're not a wrestler. Pretty much to me, she's like a stripper trying to be a wrestler. I don't see her in the ring wrestling like they wanted her to. She's just there just to be there. Yeah. Yeah, I get his stick. Yeah. No, he had to. Yeah, he had the titles when that happened. Yeah. 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 And this girl, I think, yeah, and he's married to Katie Forbes, and she's pretty much like a stripper who has a girlfriend. So it's like, it's like, RVD, what are you doing? Because you pretty much got two women, and yet you're mad at Joey Ryan for what? Because he's happily married. Yeah. Yeah, it's funny. Of all people, him. That's stupid. I mean, yeah. Yeah. Yep. Man, I'm sitting here laughing because this man has been doing these matches pretty much the late '90s or early 2000s, and he was like the indie Jeff Hardy doing all these crazy things, and it's like, yeah, it's like everybody now you realize Amazing Red is out there. It's like, where have you been? This guy's been doing matches with Low Key. Well, it was at the Tennessee Fairground when TNA first started, or was in the a gymnasium when Ring of Honor was starting, Impact Ring of Honor, respectfully. It's like this guy is a game changer. He's been doing things that Osprey been doing, but he's been doing a lot better. He was teaming with his cousins, the Spanish announce team. Um, his other cousin is Selena Vega in WWE right now, and this guy's just been humble and he's just been doing his own thing. It's like, where have you guys been sleeping on this guy? he can still go. I think it's like in his 40s, maybe 50s. The guy can still go in the ring, just a little slower with age, but the guy is still humble. This is pretty much like his renaissance year or whatever, because he's wrestling everywhere now. Like New Japan never saw him there. Now he's there. He's wrestling back in Impact, and hopefully they bring him back or have a partnership. I think they do, but I'm not sure. And Ring of Honor, he's going back there too. And it's like this guy is like an independent legend getting his dues now. Yeah. Oh, speaking of retirement, Dr. Wagner Jr., he was in retirement. Then he was like, nah, I'm going to put that on hold and come back to. So I was like, he retiring. Then what happened? He's like, nah, I'm coming back out of retirement. It's like, okay. Yeah. Yeah, it's like, there's nothing I can do about that. Let the man wrestle. His brother was Silver King. He is the second oldest in his siblings. His dad was Dr. Wagner. Just like the man do his thing, because I'm not going to complain there. I mean, I'm happy to see the man. It's like every time I see the AAA matches on YouTube, it's like, why is he coming back out? I thought he was retired. Read about it. I was like, no, he's not retired. He's still going. So there's nothing I can do about it. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Man, I don't know. I think I'm supposed to go play some lotteries or go play some slots or something. Because I told her last year, like 2020 would be your year. It's like, damn. She first won that title, then she won the NWA title. It's like, she is the first Latina to win both titles individually. The fact she's holding both of them means she's breaking down barriers herself. Yep. Yep. And the thing is, I became friends with her 2 days before she debuted on Lucha Underground. Yeah, and she joined my Facebook group too. She's a very nice lady. I like following her on Instagram because she posts videos of her dog. It's like, why you naming your dog Drago? Are you trying to take shots at the original Drago? I mean, at first I was like, how dare you use that name Drago? Because you trying to take jabs at the one in Mexico. Now I'm like, oh, I love seeing Drago. I, I mean, yeah, she is. Yep. Yep. I mean, she held her own. Yeah. I mean, whether it's her unique gear, which every time she puts one up, it's like that one looks better than the last one. Or it's the mask, which the one she wore in Lucha was all right, but the one she's wearing in WoW, it looks a lot better. And just her mannerism, it's like you can't tell that's her under the mask at times. And there's like other times she wears the face paint. It's like, which one are you gonna do? You gonna do the full face paint or you gonna do the half? Because you kind of confuse me here. It's like when I see her with Holiday, it's like that's perfect right there. These two ladies are just playing crazy for each other. Like I watched one of their videos when they did a Women of Honor tag team match. The thing that she climbed up the post, like, she should do that more often. It's like, this woman is unique. She's finally getting her dues, and this is just a magical past 3 years for this woman, and I'm happy for her, truly happy for her. Cause I know before her, it was either Jazz or Amber Gallows who had the title. Then it was her. Then it was Allison Kay. Then it's Rosa. So it's like the last few women who held the title are some badasses, and she just adds to the credibility of that title. And it's like she's not one to back down. It's like there's certain pictures people take of her. Like there was one where I think Japanese announcer was talking, and you see like she have a mean face in the background. Like, oh man, I'm scared right there. So she's mean in the ring, but she's a very comical person outside of that ring. I'm just happy for the woman. Much success. For me, I would like to see her in AAA and see if she can get to Impact, because pretty much she can work from Impact a few days, whatever, for tapings. Then she can wrestle in AAA, and that's pretty much first nature for her because she's from Mexico and she can get it with the women's and hold that title and just have a triple crown title. Like she'd be covering 3 titles. Like, damn it, she got a title in Japan, United States, and Mexico. She's just missing a European title. Exactly, and just that woman's perfect for. This is her year. I'm just happy for her. I'm just hoping she keeps all those titles for a long time, not a flash in the pants and all that crazy stuff. And it's like, um, speaking of title, I know there was one wrestler that only the diehard Ring of Honor fans know is Xavier, the the second reigning ROH champion. Nobody knows about him, but for some reason, Jay Lethal, for the longest time, wanted to wrestle him. It's like actually want to see what happens with that match, actually, because because yeah, because for me, I know it was Low Key who won it first. And after that, it was like Daniel Bryan, Small Joe, CM Punk, all of them. It's like I never heard of Xavier. I never even seen him wrestle or mention until I like did some information. I was like, wow, this was the unsung hero of Ring of Honor or something. Yeah. Yeah. Years. Yeah, it's like MMA is not too far from pro wrestling, but you gotta learn all the other stuff too. It's like I want to see those two get together, have a pure championship title field around them. Which I know Marty Scrolls, he's trying to bring back that ROH Pure Championship. So it's like, I mean, that add another one to that, and I think was Josh Woods a MMA fighter or something? Cause I think he was. I just can't remember if that's true or not. I'm not sure. Yeah. Yeah, me either. I thought he did because he looked like a guy who came from MMA, but it's like I know he has like some what was it uh amateur background, but other than that, I can't think of anything else. So for me, he'd be the perfect guy to hold the pureweight title and make him like the MMA guy of ROH because he looks like that type of fighter, and just he'd be the perfect fit now. If Matt Riddle wasn't an idiot and he was working with ROH, I think he'll hold the title. But yeah, I want to see Josh Woods hold that title. Yeah. I mean, he's still there, just they don't put him on the show as much or whatever the issue is. Yeah. That's like with a lot of guys. Yeah. I mean, they sign people, then they don't put some of them on TV. It's like, that's stupid. But yeah, I really see him going somewhere with that title, and hopefully that title leads to more chances for the ladies because they need more ladies in ROH because you can't just have. Think I think it's like 5 women. You got Lord, which is like 3 ladies. You got Maria Manic, and you got somebody else. I can't remember, but I can only name 4 right now. So it's like you need more women to validate having a women's championship in that company. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. She's there. Stella Gray, uh, Session. Yeah. No, I think she left, didn't she? Probably. Yeah. It's just yeah, they need more women. Like I don't know what was the grudge or the issue between Ring of Honor and Impact not working together, but they need to resolve that and show WWE and AEW this is where the real women wrestle at. These two promotions have a partnership or something because they both have enough women, so to speak, to vouch for to have like the women's championship, the tag team championship if they bring that back. Heck, make a women's national championship that you can share between the two rosters or something like that. It's just crazy. Then it's just I don't know what's wrong with these two companies when it comes to the women because with Impact they I think Talia, her contract automatically renewed. I don't know how that's possible. So she's gonna be there until December 2021 or something like that. Whereas with Ring of Honor, it's just same women. You don't see the championship, so it's like, it don't really matter at this point. It's just, I don't know, man. It's just freaking stupid. Um, shooting from there, we got. I wrote down 2 people that was highly important to their companies. Justice Payne, he passed away from when he was in CCW. He passed away. They don't know what the cause is. And La Parker too, he passed away. So it's like, damn. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I know what that one is. That one's LA Park. Yeah. Yeah. I think it was that MLW, wasn't it? Or was it something else? Because I remember him doing a dive. And it was like, he's going to be out because he injured his neck. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, and one of the ladies from AAA, Lady Maravilla, she posts like a slow mo of herself jumping from the top turnbuckle to the outside, and you can see like few of the women's holding their hands open to catch her because that's what you do in wrestling. Yeah, it's not supposed to be they jumping out the ring. They ain't supposed to catch. You're supposed to knock them down. They're doing the fundamentals. Protect your opponent because they'll protect you. And it's like most people don't see that. They're like, oh, that person barged or all these issues. Like sometimes they rehearse these matches beforehand, then they go do it. Sometimes they do not, but at the same time, they still respect each other. Now, there's a few times there's wrestlers that don't hate each other, just shoot on each other, and most of the times one of them get fired because of that. Like in Japan, Act something, she went shoot on one of her opponents, broke an eye socket or whatever, and she got forced out of the company, and she got to retire because of that. It was Act and yeah, and the other lady, I forgot her name, but she later on found another company to work for. So it's like, be careful when you shoot on people or don't take in consideration what it takes to be a wrestler because this stuff ain't fun. I mean, look at Muda. He has so many surgery on his knees, he can hardly walk. Yeah, Yeah, and it's like some of these fans don't consider that, like the mainstreams, whatever fans, they don't take that consideration because they're wrestlers, they work for such and such company, they can pay the health insurance. It's like that's not the point. It's the fact that they can break so many bones in their body before their body just give up on them, saying, "You need to take time off." And when people get mad because they're not in wrestling, it's like you're too entitled to see this, but yet you're not taking consideration that this person is training since they was, in some cases, a child, getting into wrestling, then they moving up to amateur or semi, then they move to the pros, and you're not taking considerations. They sometimes work all day before getting to that match to perfect their craft and stuff. So it's not all about what you see on the screen. There's stuff behind the scenes that people need to take in consideration as well. Like in Mexico, there's wrestlers in Mexico that started when they was like, I think 9, maybe 12. Like T.J. Perkins, he started. I think he was like 9 or 12 when he started wrestling. Then he's moved up to where he is now, and he's very happy with what he's doing. But he's also taking consideration his move set and the things he do in the ring. Like for every Hiromu Takahashi, there's at least 3 or 5 wrestlers who get injured doing similar stuff because they want to look cool or they want to look edgy or be noticed online. It's like you shouldn't be doing for online. You should be doing it to entertain people in the crowd or whoever's watching you streaming and say this is a next new star or potential star or potential legend due to his craft. That's like Osprey. He's saying he's stopped doing a lot of diving because he's tired of injuring his neck. I'm serious. I mean, like he was taken out of several tournaments or matches in New Japan because he kept landing on his neck, and eventually that's gonna catch up on you. Like Austin, he's like, yeah, because Edge came back doesn't mean I'm gonna come back. Just because Angle came back doesn't mean I'm gonna come back. And Paige, she's like, she can go, but at the same time, they don't want to put her back in the ring because of her neck. It's like, take these guys' new endeavors into consideration that sometimes everybody just don't want them to go anymore. Yeah. And it's like some of these, like, it's like in the early 2000s where it was backyard wrestling was the thing. It's like, I'm pretty sure none of those guys ever went pro because they don't have the proper training, don't have the proper work ethic, and they're just doing things just to look edgy. Now it's about, let me get into my local promotion and try to get into training and stuff like that, which is good because the old backyard wrestling stuff, no, that's not gonna do good for your chances of getting to wrestling. Granted, Mick Foley and the Hardy Boys made a name for himself doing that, but they gradually went to training and they became legends in the way they doing it. There's a reason why Jeff Hardy only had, I think, 1 or 2 surgeries in his life, despite doing all the crazy things he done, because one, he knew what he was doing and he was gonna do it in a certain way to make sure he doesn't get hurt that much or his opponent get hurt, and 2, he was on drugs half the time. I can't defend that part either. I mean, yeah, it's like, it was surprising to me when I heard when he was at Impact, he fell and broke his legs. Like, how in the world did Jeff Hardy get his first surgery, wrestling related, despite all the other things he has done in his career. Then I look back on, Jeff was doing crazy stunts, but at the same time, it wasn't as crazy as sitting on top of the ladder, on top of a cage, and injuring himself. Like, yeah. Yeah, and it's like, he does the swan time. He's like, even said in interviews, that hurt his tailbone more than anything. It's like, man, you need to change up your finisher or something, because you can't take too many swan times like that anymore, especially through tables. No. It's like, there was a spot on like an old SmackDown episodes, RVD versus Jeff Hardy. Jeff Hardy went for a swan time through a table. RVD moved out the way, and the table just exploded. And it's like, damn, Jeff. Seriously, this is how you want to go out? Just kill yourself that way? Luckily, he wasn't injured that bad, but it's like, seriously, you need to preserve yourself, man. Whew, man, that was crazy. There's a reason why New Jack stopped wrestling. There's a reason why Abdullah Butcher, he's gonna eventually slow down. I think Narco the Butcher too. He's slowing down from his stuff. It's like so many of these legends, some of these guys from the Indies who are known for hardcore stuff, they're slowing down because they see it's time to stop doing that stuff and move on to other stuff. Otherwise, they're gonna be stuck being known as that one thing. And it's like Kylie Ray, to go in that segment, she pretty much left AEW because she was having like mental issues and I guess an eating disorder or something, which is why she, I guess, left, which I understand because if you were AEW WWE, that's going to magnify whatever issues you have, whereas going back to the independents, she can be unknown to the mainstream, but she's known through the crowd, which I'm happy for her recovering for whatever issues she's have going on right now. Yeah, I'm so happy for her because there's like plenty of stories like that where the wrestlers just don't come back and it's just worse off. It's just worse off and stuff like that. That they get addicted to pills or they drink themselves to death or stuff like that. Just it ain't worth it. But she has a good support system behind her, which I'm happy for her because we could have lost her if she didn't have the common sense to pull away and just work on herself. Yeah, and just I think some of it has to do with their pride that they don't want to fight whatever demons that you have. They just want to go out there and be a tough person, but at the same time, you need to step back and focus on yourself. Which these companies they should do the same thing with these wrestlers. If they see something wrong, hey man, hey man, woman, you need to step back. Go work on yourself. Go get some help. We'll pay for it, whatever it takes. Just get better, because you don't want another Chris Benoit incident that holds over your over that hover over your company, and you're trying to hide it like people cannot see it. And even now, WWE they're still banning David Benoit from going to the events, and he's like, I want to get into wrestling. I want to use Chris Benoit Jr. And he said the only chance he's have is AEW or other promotions. That's not WWE. It's like, I'm happy for you, man. Just do what you gotta do and learn from your father's mistakes, not to do certain things. Yeah. I mean, that has to do more with the brain more than anything else. due to WWE and their time at the time. But yeah, at the same time, he was on roids, and they said roid rage, and that stuff like that happens. So, yeah, yeah. And it's like it was a triple threat because WWE was always pushing the guy to wrestle. He had this. He has from what I saw, he had like a brain of an 80-year-old, plus the roids, the steroids to keep his body healed. Those were things led to that incident, which WWE is trying to not take accountability for, but they're openly fine with hiding him and trying to erase him from history, which you cannot do because he's pretty much linked with the Hart family, and you're not going to hide the Hart family either. He he grew up in the dungeon. He took his style after the Pegasus Kid, and you brought him in. If I was WWE at the time, I was like, this guy is like the Pegasus. It's like no, he was the Pegasus Kid. Never mind, the Dynamite Kid. That's what I was thinking of. If they knew he was taking his style after Dynamite Kid, I would have sat him down like, we're gonna monitor your work ethic and everything to make sure you do not turn out like him, and ultimately don't do what happened in 2007. But you can't erase history like that. Oh man, that's just stupid. I'm gonna wrap this up with this last one because this last one, oh my goodness, this last one is very stupid. Apparently, there was $20,000 on the line between Tamatanga and Enzo Mori to fight somewhere, and Enzo backed out. So Tamatanga decided, how about I just wrestle myself for the $25,000? It's like, what started this whole stupid rivalry or whatever? It's just stupid. Yeah, and it's like his music is not good. He was pretty much terrible in the ring. And he's a joke because anytime he tries to sound like he's a professional wrestler, there are memes, there are gifs of him getting knocked out because he hit the bottom rope or something. So it's like, dude, just stay away from wrestling. Go do something else in entertainment. And you go out to Tamatanga. I'm sorry, but when it comes to wrestling and social media, there's the last person you want to mess with. I'm sorry. Tamatanga is the last guy you want to mess with on social media. Because anybody that came against him, he was very able taking them down. So it's like, that's the last guy you want to bark up history, especially with his father around. No, thank you. Ooh, man. Yeah, sadly, and like him and Big Cass, there was never a it team or anything. It was pretty much just a comedy act, and I guess they trying to extend this little 15 minutes of fame to a career, but they can't because one Cass is pretty much shooting himself in the foot, and Enzo just he has no talent in wrestling whatsoever. I'm sorry, no. I mean, if I'm Pac, I would be writing Enzo a check for at least $1,000 a year because he was one of the main reasons why Pac was like, "No, I'm taking my ball. I'm going home until my contract is up." And it's like I'm happy for Pac because Pac is in Dragon Gate, he's in AEW, and he's doing stuff in Europe. So it's like he should be thanking Enzo for giving him the motivation to sit at home, train, and get ready for his independent career once again. That's stupid. And speaking of that, oh yeah, there was one more I wanted. There was a bonus one. What was it? Apparently, the WWE women were mad because Santino dressed up as Santino, his female version of himself in the Royal Rumble. It's like, why are you getting mad? The guy's only there for a comedy act, and that's it. Yeah. Viper. They could put Viper in there too, or something like that. Yeah. 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 Yeah, and it's like you have all the women from SmackDown, all the women from Raw, and pretty much the bulk of the Royal Rumble was the women from NXT, the main brand in the UK. So it's like at least have one smart spot in there. Heck, you had Tamina in there; she didn't hardly did anything. That could have went to somebody else, but you picked Santina, which is just supposed to be a comedy act, and you just getting offended because of that. That's stupid. I don't see none of these people getting mad because Nia Jax, she was in the men's Royal Rumble and nobody threw a fit about that. But Santina, yeah, it's like, I mean, China was in there, nobody threw a fit because she didn't care about, yep, not Carmella, Karma, she did it. Those three women did it. Yeah, they did it. Well, I think there's somebody else. Just, no, just those two. Yeah. Like for me, it's 28 out of 30 because Carrie Kelly, she has no business being in the ring. I mean, well, that was supposed to be Sasha's spot, but she got injured and they put her in there. It's like you could at least put Viper in there, so it'd be there's at least like three big women from NXT in there at the same time. Shayna, Bianca, and Viper. That would have been a good match right there. I'm happy they got Tony Storm in there. I'm kind of sad that she's with the company because the stuff that happened afterwards. But things what it is, I don't know that Royal Rumble. It was kind of good, but at the same time, I knew Flair was in there. I was like, they're just gonna pander to her. It's like there's nothing redeeming by her. At least give it to Lacey Evans. She's done more for the company and her during her time there in a short time. Um, Charlotte, she's not perfecting some of her stuff. She's pretty much reckless right now because she was like after Kairi Sane, she got injured at the what was it TLC. She was like, I was just in the moment wrestling, blah blah blah. It's like you could at least taken a second to realize that Kairi Sane, she's injured right now. She got a concussion, and like I was telling people, I got more respect for Becky because Becky was like, I see Kairi having a concussion. I'm gonna push her under the ring so she can stay safe. Then it just broke down pretty much like to a handicap match, which was okay with me because Asuka can hold her own. It's just Flair, she's reckless and she's more of a liability than anything. And the thing I really don't want her to do, which I know some people when they hear this they're gonna get mad. I don't want her marrying Andrade because she's gonna turn around and try to be like Talia and like I'm Lucha royalty, blah 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 blah, which I think I brought up before on another podcast episode. But I really don't want to see Charlotte marry Andrade because she might use that because WWE and how the whole issue is. Yep. Yep. And before I got on the podcast, I actually saw, which you already saw, hopefully, they doing a documentary about China. I don't trust them with this documentary. They did the same thing Ultimate Warrior and no. I mean, yeah, that was slanderous. Yeah. Yeah, cause phew, although Triple H seemed like a good guy with NXT, he pretty much destroyed, well, almost destroyed three careers in WWE. He destroyed Tess's career because of that whole marriage thing. Then he married Stephanie. He almost destroyed Booker T's career in his little racist incident. But after a while, I'm like, Booker T, I think you kind of deserve that because of your little commentary on the Royal Rumble. Man, I can't stand it. In China, he destroyed those three careers almost because he ruined Test's career by cheating on China with Stephanie McMahon, and he screwed over those two people in their potential careers right there. And now he's trying to say like, oh, we're trying to build NXT so we can take all the independent stars and put them in our company. Which, if you look at it in hindsight, you can't really do that because for every time you take, there's at least three, maybe five more being created, and then after a while, your company cannot hold that many people under one roof because NXT is pretty much running like $48 million in the deaths and losses because they got so many people on the roster and you're not using them all to their full potential. and and it's also weird and kind of creepy. Paige's birthday is on the 26th of July. The next day is Triple H's birthday. After that is Nick Jackson and my birthday. So that's kind of weird. I'm hating another Leo, even though I kind of like his career before he got married to Stephanie, but now it's just like I can't like the guy. So it's like you have Paige, then you have Triple H, then you have Nick Jackson. So it's like kind of say 3 decades of wrestling entertainment right there. So it's just weird coincidence right there. Shit. Oh man, that was, I don't know. That's just all the information I found like in the last 30 minutes before I did the show. So I'm pretty happy we got at least 25 of those topics done. Oh my god. Oh my goodness, man. It's just, I don't know what's gonna come out next. It's gonna be something stupid, something dumb. Yep, and it's better than football because there's no off season, so there's a lot of stupid stuff coming up. Oh, oh man. All right, man. All right, I'll talk to you soon, my friend. Later.